Oh, this is a question that we in the industry, we in the business, real estate agents, brokers, mortgage lenders, title companies, but really mostly real estate agents and brokers, we get this question all the time, which is Austin in a buyer's market right now? Very simple question, but the answer is not so simple. And I'm going to show you why the answer is not so simple. So let's go ahead and go over some data, go over some information so that we can answer that question. Is Austin in a buyer's market? Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. This is our website, and we've got a section on our website called Insight and Statistics. When you go to that section and you scroll down, we've got a type of market city and then type of market zip code. You can find that information by scrolling down and going to market type and sentiment. You can see right here, type of market city. That's going to cover the top 30 cities within the Central Texas area. That's going to be the Austin area, also known as the Austin MSA, the Metropolitan Statistical Area. Usually the 5 county area, we go ahead and throw in Burnett County, but it's going to be Travis, Williamson, Bastrop, Hayes, Caldwell, and let's just go ahead and throw in Burnett County to that mix. When I click on type of market city, you can see this report. Let me make this just a little bit bigger so that you can see the entire report. And you can see where we are tracking the top 30 cities within the Austin area. Now, the way that we define buyer's market, neutral market, and a seller's market is based on a metric called months of inventory. And you can see that a seller's market is going to be anything with less than 4.9 months of inventory. That is where you take all of the active listings and you divide it by how many properties have sold over the past 90 days. You take the average over the past 90 days. Some people will take the average over the past year or what happened last year. But in this situation, we're using what has sold in the past 90 days. And you can see that we have 11 cities within the Austin area that are still in a seller's market. That's going to be 37% of the 30 cities. We've got 12 cities, that's 40%, are in a neutral market between 5 and 6.9 months of inventory. And then we've got 7 cities that are currently in a buyer's market, and that's going to be over 7 months of inventory. Now, if I take the all of it, all of these cities, and I look at the median is going to put us right at 5.77 months of inventory, the average at 6.44. So let's take a look at the city of Austin. And you can see that there are 4,444 active listings. And that's as of this morning. This resource is updated every single morning by 7 a.m. or so, 7:30. This is a brand new resource with all of the latest data for all the top 30 cities, top 75 zip codes. We're going to cover that here in the next few minutes. And you can see that the average price for the active listings just a little bit north of $1 million, $1,051,716, with the median price at 649. Median days on the market 41, and here you go, months of inventory 6.03, and that's going to rank the city of Austin on number 16 out of the top 30 cities. So really right down the middle when it comes to inventory. And you can see that this is yellow because as of now, at 6.3 months of inventory, 6.03 months of inventory, it is right within the neutral market. So if I were to answer that question, I'd say no, the city of Austin is not in a buyer's market. It is in a neutral market. Crossed into the neutral market, we're right down the middle of a neutral market. Once we cross into the 7 months of inventory, then of course we would be in a buyer's market. But I'm going to give you the breakdown of the 75 zip codes, specifically the Austin zip codes that start with 77, and show you which zip codes are within a buyer's market, neutral market, and a seller's market. Now we can see that we need, based on the current level of absorption, what is selling, we would need another 1,111 additional listings based on the current level of activity to transition into a neutral market. That's going to take a few weeks, maybe even a few months. I'll let you know as soon as that happens. So let's take a look at the cities that are currently in a buyer's market. We've got Dale, we've got Driftwood. Let's keep on going. We've got Lago Vista, Marble Falls, Smithville, Spicewood, and Wimberley. All of those are within a buyer's market. Now you can keep on going. You've got access to how many listings had price drops. Let's keep on going. You've got the breakdown of how many cities are over 10 months of inventory. We've got 6 cities over 10 months of inventory right now. We've got 8 cities between 6 and 7 months of inventory. And it gives you a lot of information, gives you the breakdown between the difference between the median price, the average price. And then this is a really nice little graph that'll show you all the top 30 cities and where they fall when it comes to months of inventory along with days on the market. And then you've got the chart showing you the top 30 cities. Now, let's take a look at zip code to see out of all of the zip codes, which ones are within a buyer's market, neutral market, and within a seller's market. Let me go ahead and just make this a little bit bigger so that you can see everything. Now, these are going to be the 75 zip codes within the Austin area. And you can see zip code 78701 clearly within a buyer's market. As a matter of fact, 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, all within a buyer's market. The 78701 zip code, that's going to be downtown Austin, the central business district, lots of condos. We are looking at 229 active properties that are currently on the market, over 11 months of inventory. Now, when I click on this 11, it's going to bring you another really neat resource that further breaks down the information based on the price range and also the size of the property. You can see that between $400,000 and $500,000, between 700 and 850 square feet, 36 months of inventory. And then over $1.2 million, over 3,400 square feet, all the way here to the bottom, you're looking at 27 months of inventory. So this is a really good resource that breaks down the months of inventory, not only per zip code, but also per price range, and then also the specific size of the property. Let's keep on going. We've got the 24 zip code, the 26 zip code, 11 months of inventory. And then here we've got the ranking. Let's keep on going. Now, when you look at the zip codes, 75 zip codes within the Central Texas area, 44% or 33 out of the 75 in a seller's market. And then we're tied to 21 neutral market and buyer's market. You've got 3-4 out towards the Lakeway area, towards the lake, 10.42 months of inventory, 4-1, 11 months, 4-6, 9.43 months. So you can see that within the Austin area, let's go ahead and count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 zip codes within the city of Austin are currently in a buyer's market. So even though the entire city is not within a buyer's market, we have 12 zip codes that are within a buyer's market. Now let's count the neutral. We've got 1, 2, 3 neutral, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 in a neutral. Now, let's keep on looking at some additional information right here. I'm going to go ahead and just pick on the 78701 zip code. When you click on this link, it's going to bring you to this breakdown that shows you all the different price points within that zip code in $100,000 increments, and then how many properties went up in value, remained the same, and then went down in value. You can see that the days on the market, that's going to be the median days on the market at 62. The activity index, which is the pending divided by the active plus the pending, it shows you the rate in which properties are being absorbed by the market. What percentage of the properties are going pending at 6.1%, which is very cold. It's a cool market, very cold market. That's very little activity. You can see the breakdown on the activity index based on the price range, and then also months of inventory based on the price range. Now, this symbol right here, which is the greater than symbol, between $800,000 and $900,000, this greater than symbol shows you that there's unlimited inventory, which means that nothing sold over the past 90 days. You've got 6 properties currently on the market. One of these properties went down in price by between 5 and 10%, and nothing has sold. Nothing has sold. And you've got a 25% activity index. That's going to be the pending divided by the active plus the pending. As a matter of fact, if I click on activity index, It gives you a further breakdown, not only on the price range, but also on the square footage. The symbol with a zero with a crossed off in red, that means that not a single property is pending. All of the properties within this price range and within this square footage are active on the market. Nothing is pending. Not one property is pending. And then we've got a really nice little breakdown on the average, the median price for this specific zip code. You can see this was updated today. Today's April 10th. This information is updated every single morning. So come back to our website, check out this information, and you can get the latest data on all 75 zip codes, all 30 cities, updated daily. Really nice summary so that you know exactly what's going on within the entire Austin area. You can also click on days on the market. When you click on days on the market, it's going to give you the breakdown per square footage, per price range. And this is going to give you the average days on the market for each category so you can see exactly what's moving and really what's not moving within the area. Now, if you want the summary for a zip code that you're interested in, I want you to go here. I want you to click on Market Update. And then I want you to click on Data and Analysis Reports. And I really want to focus on the 78701 zip code. Let me go ahead and click on the 78701. And we are going to get this really nice report that's going to give you that active sheet that I just went over, showing you the breakdown of everything. Also gives you a 12-month chart showing you the activity index, which is a leading market indicator, and then months of inventory, which is going to be your lagging market indicator. It's going to give you a really nice percentile analysis that shows you how many properties are within each percentile range. So let me give you an example. The 50th percentile for the 7701 zip code is $749,000 and $840 a foot. That means that 115 properties are priced under that, and 115 properties are priced over that. If you were to put 20% down using today's rate at a tax rate of 1.99, which is going to be your average tax rate for that zip code, you are looking at a monthly payment, PITI, including taxes of 0.68% based on the value of $5,472, which means that your household income, your income would have to be $234,000 if we use the 28% rule. Now, you could very well qualify for higher than 28%. I've seen it as high as 45, even 50%, but 28% is going to be a really good guideline. In that 28% rule, you can see here in the bottom, it means that your monthly housing cost should not exceed 28% of your gross monthly income. That is a rule that's been around for a very long time, but I do understand that in today's lack of affordability, people are really pushing that rule and going way over that rule. The next report that you're going to see, it's going to be the number of properties available within each price range and within each square footage range. And you can see that between the $600,000 and $700,000 price range, between 700 and 850 square feet, we've got 15 properties available. Then the next one is going to be the activity index. So let's take a look at this. So you've got 15 properties available, 6 to 700,000, or 6 to 700, 7 to 850. That's going to be this one right here. 600, 700, 700, 850. Not one is pending. You've got 15 properties currently in the market, active on the market. Not one is pending. And then you've got the average days on the market. Let's focus on this one. 109 active days on the market. That's the average for that specific, for those 14 properties. And then here we've got months of inventory. Now you're not going to see, some of them you're not going to see months of inventory. This one, you're looking at 15 months of inventory. And then this is a breakdown of what's sold. So let's go back to how many properties are currently in the market. There are right now 100, no, it's even more than that, 226. There are 226 active properties on the market. 47 have sold over the past 90 days. This is going to give you the breakdown of everything that's sold over the past 90 days. And you can see that 93.6% of the properties that sold, that's going to be 44, had a price drop. And this is going to give you the entire appreciation, both on the median side and the average side, going all the way back 25 years. And I want to remind you that we've got this information for all 75 zip codes, along with the top 30 cities. You can access all this information both under Market Update and also Insight and Statistics. We publish and we update over 2,000 pages of data for the Austin area, for the Austin market, so that our agents, our clients can be fully equipped with all the information that they need to make a decision. So take a look at this information, really powerful, very helpful information. You can get detailed reports updated on a daily basis on all this information. So that's my answer to, is Austin in a buyer's market? And you can see here that overall it's not, it's in a neutral market, but when you break it down per zip code, absolutely there are some zip codes that are clearly in a buyer's market that's got a lot of inventory. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and show you one more thing. I'm going to go back to Insight and Statistics, and I'm going to click on months of inventory. Let me go ahead and just make this a little bit bigger so you can see, because now we're going to break down within different price ranges between 0 and 200, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, all the way to 1 million plus. And you can see the months of inventory per city, per price range, and then we also have it per zip code. And let's take a look at some of the ones with a lot of inventory. We've got Lago Vista between $600,000 and $700,000, 37.5 months of inventory. Let's go to zip code, and this is a history, by the way, so you can look at the 12-month history on inventory. You can see City of Austin has 6.03 months of inventory. That's going to be a 12-month high. We bottomed out at 4.06 December. That's short. We were at 3.95 exactly this time last year. I mean, just to put that in perspective, we went from 3.95 months of inventory 1 year ago to 6.03 months of inventory. You can see even a city like Dale, or Driftwood, we almost doubled the inventory in Driftwood. On Dale, we more than doubled inventory. We were at 4.46, and then we maxed out at 11 months of inventory. When you take a look at Dale, we've got 27 months of inventory between $400,000 and $500,000. And let's now focus on zip code, and let's take a look at which zip code and which price range has the biggest inventory. We are looking at 78752 between $500,000 and $600,000. We've got 54 months of inventory, and it looks like that's going to be the price range and the zip code with the most inventory, 78752. Let's take a look at this specific zip code, and we can see this. I mean, a lot of inventory in the 78752. Overall, we're looking at 9.7 months of inventory, but between $500,000 and $600,000, we're looking at 54 months of inventory. Nothing is moving, and there's really nothing on the market post that zip code 78752. So let me take a look at the 78752 and see what is going on in that specific zip code. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go to 78752, and let's take a look at the active inventory. And we can see, take a look at that. We've got 14.7 activity index. That's going to be the pending divided by the active plus the pending. That's going to give you just how is the market absorbing what's currently available to be absorbed. And take a look at all the unlimited symbols. This symbol right here under activity index, meaning there's no pending. So you take a look at the 450 to 550, there's not a single pending property. You look at the 750 to 850, not a single pending property. And then you've got unlimited months of inventory. So over $650,000, you've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got 10 properties available over $650,000, and yet not one has sold in the past 90 days. That's what's going to give you that unlimited inventory. It does look like we have some pending properties right here under activity index. We've got, at least or so one property that's pending, another property that's pending in that price range. They have not closed yet, but you can see that this is a very cool zip code. Out of the 58 properties that are currently on the market, 23 of them have had a price drop. You can see the breakdown on the price drop. Now, look at the average price drop. The average price drop, $37,000, it's going to be 7%. On the median side, $30,000, also 7%. Take advantage of all this information. Take a look at all of the insight and statistics available on our website. But that is my answer to the question that we do receive all the time. Real estate is hyper local. It's not just the city, it's the zip code. I would even go, and it's not just the zip code, it's the subdivision within that zip code. We've come across a lot of subdivisions, same zip code, where one subdivision is in a buyer's market. Another subdivision is in a seller's market. One subdivision has 11 months of inventory, and the other one could have 3 months of inventory just based on desirability of the neighborhood, price range, demand within the neighborhood. So take advantage of our website. If you have any questions, let us know. We are here to help. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for visiting our website. And once again, if you have any questions, let us know. We're at Team Price Real Estate. We've got amazing agents that are here to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. My name is Dan Price. I'm the broker of Team Price Real Estate. Been doing this for over 20 years. Absolutely love my job, love my city, love what's happening in Austin. And we are here to equip you with the single best real estate information that you could ever come across. Take advantage of our website. This information is updated daily. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We are here to help.